Hey, beautiful women of the world. Do you dream of starting your own company and leaving your full-time position wherever it is you might work so that you have the power and the freedom to be your own boss and truly live your dreams, contributing to the world with your gifts? Well, the woman you're about to meet here on the Goddess Power Show is doing exactly that. Her name is Lisa Frank, and she's the founder of Camino Life Coaching. I interviewed her back in March of 2021, just under a year ago. Yes. And our motto here on the show is Boss Up, Goddess. And I encourage women when I interview trailblazing women who share their wisdom to live bigger, better, and bolder for all of us. She's doing that. And she's taking dramatic action now to be an inspiration to all of you to follow in her footsteps. So welcome to the Goddess Power Show. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to Lisa Frank, founder of Camino Life Coaching. Welcome back, Lisa.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be here with you. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I am so proud of you because I've watched you evolve since our first meeting in March of last year. And you have just been this buoyant, exuberant evolution of you. Like your haircut is different, your glasses, your personality is bubbly, like you've lightened a load. And now you've taken the dramatic action to do full-time with your coaching business. You've left the full-time work in the past after creating a structure for your business and its future success. Want to hear all about that because lots of people watching right now are dreaming about doing that. So Lisa, do you want to start explaining what you do with Camino Life Coaching and how that helps people?
Absolutely. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So the main thrust of what I do is to work with businesses to hire the right person and then to create and build these teams so that once they're there, they want to stay.
Okay, that's so valuable. Oh my gosh. And you are located in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And you've built a wonderful community there of support, your network. It's just very supportive. And that's a key tenet to having the courage to step out and do what you're doing. So, Lisa, can you talk about share with women out there who have a job, they dream of having their own business as a coach or an entrepreneur of some sort, but don't know how to start laying the foundation to do it in a responsible manner? How do you start?
Okay, here we go. So back to 2014, right?
Okay.
So 2014, I graduated from an International Coach Federation program. And I really love what I was doing. I had about 10 practice clients, so was coaching for free, continued to coach them for free for the next 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
At some point, maybe I came up with a name. At some point, I made a website. 6 years passed, nothing came together. I was working full time the whole time also. And it wasn't until it was July 2020 when I thought, oh, maybe I need a coach.
Oh.
Right. So I did find a coach, Michael Baravecchio, and he perfect for me. And he really, when I interviewed him, I said, here's what I need. I need somebody that's going to be a mentor, somebody that's built a business, a successful business, and can guide me. And I also need somebody who, when I inevitably self-sabotage, is going to be able to address that and get me back on the path.
I love it.
And he absolutely did that. When we started, he said, what do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months? And I said, I want to be positioned. I want to have a company. I want to have the website, the business card. I just want to be positioned. I don't have to be in action. I just want to be positioned. And darn if we didn't get that done. So that was really phase one. That's what I consider phase one. having somebody you trust that's knowledgeable. So here's the big, I guess the big takeaway from the phase one. Phase one, and actually all the way through, is we don't achieve anything on our own. We need other people. This is also, I'm also a John Maxwell coach, and this is a huge point, tip, concept, principle from John Maxwell is we really need other people. And so you never have to go it alone, and you never should go it alone, because we need the perspectives and the skills and the guidance of other people. That every other person is going to know something that you don't know. Every other person will look at things a way that you don't look at it. And if you're starting and you don't have the expertise, there's no shame in finding the right person, somebody that you resonate with, that you can build trust with.
I love it. So this ties into what you call, Lisa, so brilliantly, surround sound. What is surround sound?
Surround sound is phase two.
Oh, okay.
So phase one was just finding a coach, getting in place. Phase two is when I built out my surround sound. That's what I call it. It's it takes a lot. It takes a lot. So you want to build up as much support as you can. So my surround sound is my coach, my guides, not just personal coach, but maybe business coaches, and also communities. So I found a community called Millions of Women Strong. The founder of that is Georgiana Covell. And actually your sister, Catherine, introduced me to Georgiana.
Oh, wow. Love Georgiana. I'm in Millions of Women Strong. I'm a founding member too. And it's wonderful to network with women who are on a mission like all of us.
Right. And one thing leads to another. So, I mean, that's the beauty too of networking and finding a community or communities and people that you resonate with, and people that are supportive and people that are inspiring. Because through Millions of Women Strong, I just wanted to backtrack. It was in my mind about Georgiana. I met Georgiana, talked to her 15 minutes, and I said, whatever you've got, sign me up.
Wow.
But through her, I made calls to the other members of Millions of Women Strong. And through that, I found Carmen Reed Gilkison. And through her, and she works for a company, and her partner is Deirdre Harder. And so I found them, and now I'm in a program with them. And so little by little, I'm building the structure, I'm building a network, I'm finding collaborations with other members, referral partners, power partners, because the first thing I learned in Millions of Women Strong is nobody likes to be sold to.
No, right. Yes. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Lisa, I just want to emphasize that everybody understands what surround sound is. When you're embarking on something that not everybody understands, and they have your best interest in mind, but they're going to be scared for you. They're going to say, oh, that's really risky. You shouldn't do that. I'm worried. You should not take that leap to go out on your own. You don't know anybody yet, etc., etc. And so that's surround sound in the wrong way, because people get in your ear and then in your head, and it can stop us from following up on pursuing these big dreams. So your surround sound is all the right people in your ear, encouraging you, supporting you, giving you that guidance when things aren't going right, or you might be anxious or scared, right?
Absolutely. Okay. And you need that, because just because you're on the journey and just because you gave yourself permission to jump, it doesn't mean that all the worries go away, or all the I wouldn't even say worries. I would just say whoever you were before, you still are.
Yeah.
That doesn't go away, but the attitude and the intention, that's what changes. And then there's a shift that happens. So yes, my second phase is surround sound, building that supportive network, building, it doesn't have to be women. It just so happens that I joined all these groups, and there's just a lot of amazing women out there. So
yes, it's remarkable. Once you start networking, there's a wonderful momentum that goes, and you just start meeting more and more people. And that's how you do business. You connect, you build relationships, and then you don't feel sold to. So that's where you were stepping off into the I don't want to be sold to arena.
Right. And that's exactly right. It's all about relationships. And now I'm into the third phase now. And it's funny because as you stay in it and stay with it, lots of things change. So the clarity of what you're doing, who you're doing it for, continues to become more clear, or it evolves. So in the beginning, I'm just focusing on DISC, and now I'm focusing on a positive work environment. And how does that happen? And how do you build the team that people actually will do, even if they're not getting paid? It's something that's value driven. You know, how does that even happen? And how does you build an environment that's value driven, even though people are getting paid? So that kind of a thing. So, and now I'm in the third phase where I'm developing processes and getting more active about that, and just continuing to clarify and then continuing to self-sabotage and continuing to be unsure. But I've jumped off the cliff so many times in this year and a half that what's shifted is my attitude of it, because I realized when I cut the cord, when I left my full-time job and it's just on me, that's not necessarily a new feeling. When I decided to go hike and around in Patagonia, the Torres del Paine, that came down to, are you going to do this thing or not? And if you are, you better get in shape. You know, nobody can get into shape for you. Nobody can build your business for you. And when that became clear, then it actually went a little bit farther than that. And for the first time in my life, I had the sensation that, oh my gosh, I'm betting on myself.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And that was really empowering, because then when you're betting on yourself, that instills a grounding in you that muffles that surround sound that's not quite so helpful, and just really focuses and helps you get through. So as I said, I've gone through being fearful and self-sabotaging so often in this last year and a half plus, as I'm building and as I'm learning and as I'm getting deeper into it, that now when that wells up, I just go, oh, hi, I recognize you.
Wow.
I'm going to go forward anyway, but hey, you know.
I love it. That's so powerful, just to acknowledge the feelings and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice of you to stop by. I got this.
You know? Yes, I love it. I love it, Lisa.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those circles?
Yeah, and yeah, just to finish that thought, and then to know who to get in touch if you can't say I'm moving forward anyway, because you've built that network, you've built that surround sound. And yeah, the circles, it's just when you first get introduced to a concept, sometimes you think you understand it, and you do to a certain degree, but then with the repetition, or when you actually try to apply it, it's kind of like writing. I think your thought can be so clear in your mind, like I understand it perfectly, but then when you start trying to verbalize it or write it down, you realize, ooh,
oh, right,
not so clear.
But you talked about having circles of clarity, like you start off with this large concept and then you continue to focus in until you get that perfect moment of clarity of what am I doing, where am I going, and how am I doing it, right?
Right. And it's the same thing as I think last time I may have talked about horizons, where you think you've got it, you think you've gotten there. But yeah, with the clarity, it is about the concepts and how you think you understand them first, but then you realize on the next go around that you didn't quite understand it, but now you think you have it better, until you realize that, oh, no, that really wasn't it. So, I mean, there's different circles. So there's those circles about understanding concepts and being able to apply them. And there are also the circles about understanding. So one of the concepts is, what is your one big thing? What is the one big thing that you want to be known for?
Ooh, okay.
is it communication? Is it team building?
Mhm.
Is it personal growth? Is it,
Mhm.
and what comes after that? So getting clear on what that is, because many people do a lot of different things. So what is the one big thing that, like, there are some coaches that were human resources people in their career, and they decided that the part of human resources they really liked was the coaching part. So they decided to become coaches and help people that they've come to the top of the ladder, they're in corporate, they've been a big success by external measures, but they're not happy. So if I meet somebody that's like that, I'm going to send it to that coach that works with women who have succeeded in the corporate ladder and and realize that they're not happy and they're trying to figure out what's next. That's, I know which coach does that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Lisa, can you talk about the feeling that you wake up with in the morning now, no longer having to go to a job or work from home or whatever it was you were doing, and now you're all free. You're able to do your dream. You're making it happen. What does that feel like?
I'll tell you two things. One, the overarching thing is freedom.
Uh-huh.
And the thrill of knowing I'm on a path to step into myself 100% and better.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The other thing is, again, I love learning. It's like squirrel when I to learn things, and so there's a course in flow I've been taking with Natalie Ekobo, and we came up with names for ourselves at one time, and mine was Limitless Lisa.
Oh, I love it. I love that word. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
so that's
awesome.
what I wake up. Yeah, that's what I wake up with. I wake up before my feet touch the ground. I say, I am Limitless Lisa.
Oh, I love it. You say it out loud?
I say it out loud.
Woohoo! That is awesome. 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 With my goddess messaging that's coming out in my book, The BISS Tribe, Activating Your Goddess Power, mantras are so very, very important to say out loud, to reprogram our brains, and our actions follow. It's awesome, Lisa. That is so cool.
Yeah, and at night, it's gratitude. I know a lot of your listeners practice gratitude, but and gratitude could be I'm breathing. It could be the air. It could be that I got to go outside and walk, and like yesterday I took a walk and I saw 3 woodpeckers, and I saw this. Yeah, it was beautiful. And this tree, it looked like a cribbage board. It was so.
Wow. If nobody's ever seen a woodpecker, they're bright red. They're really a spectacular vision. And they're deeply symbolic, like opportunity is knocking. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Every bird has a spiritual message, and that's what it is for woodpeckers, among other things. So, wow, Lisa. But the remarkable thing, as I've observed you since we first met in a networking experience, I have just been awed by your courage, and you've just changed. Like, I've seen you had a different haircut, you had different glasses, your energy was very different. It was like much heavier. And now it's like, ooh, I'm happy and it's bubbly. And then I interviewed you, and you're brilliant in your personality and communications messaging. You do those DISC assessments, or at least you were doing that, to help people analyze their personality traits and how that might apply to business. That was brilliant. So you've got the whole package, and I'm just so proud of you. You epitomize the message, boss up, goddess, because you're doing it. And of course, it's not easy at all. So what I wanted to ask you is, here's Limitless Lisa. You talked about self-sabotage. What's her name? And how do you make Limitless Lisa be the boss and shut down the self-sabotage part of her? We all have it.
I don't want to give her power with a name.
Oh, I love it. Great answer.
Right. Yeah, it's just, and I don't know if anybody can identify with this, but many people live out of fear of failure. And and I've been living between in that narrow strip between fear of failure and fear of success. And I'm just ready to bust loose.
I love it. I love it. Because you become so fed up with the status quo or the whatever it is. I know me, that is major like fuel from my mission. If I get really fed up with feeling stuck somewhere or scared, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this. So,
right.
and
Yeah, and I'm sure it's different for everybody where that tipping point is.
mhm,
But when you're ready, just make sure you've got solid people around you that you can count on to I have a number of accountability partners too that we're in touch every week, and we say, oh, how's it going? Call me if you get down, or if you need to do something but you're not getting over the fence or getting over that hurdle, just let's call each other, let's be there for each other. So
I love that.
It really helps.
So Lisa, you talked about how this whole freedom and this new lifestyle and limitless Lisa allows your authentic self to come out. And that's what I've seen. It's like you literally burst out of the cocoon and now you're the butterfly. Like, I know that's such an overused metaphor, but it's true. So you said your authentic self is now free to come out. What is that? How do you do that? How do you make that happen? And how do you keep the evolution going?
Actually, you nailed it, because there I do have a special relationship to butterflies. So
oh, great, excellent.
you actually know. What keeps me going is that for me, yeah, everybody has to know this for themselves, but for me, the stakes are really high. I know that if I keep stepping forward, even though the fear is there, even though the self-sabotage is there, if I step forward, I get the golden ring. I get to be 100%. I get to blossom. I get to be that butterfly and not stay a chrysalis for my whole life. And I know if I don't move forward, I can't stay where I am. That's not sustainable. But if I don't move forward, it's on me to move forward. If I don't do it, nothing happens. And then I return, maybe not to where I was. And it's not that where I was so bad. It just wasn't. You can bring your passion to something, but it's not necessarily your passion. I want to live where I'm aligned, where it's all aligned, where what I'm doing is my passion. And then I want to go towards expansion, not contraction. And that's the bottom line. And that's the stakes. Am I going to grow and expand and blossom and find out and realize this business, which isn't just a business. The business is kind of a chrysalis too. It's both my vehicle for personal growth and expansion, and it's also my vehicle for service. And I'm just hungry to get out there and serve.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And do you feel that once you make this commitment and once you step out and take action, do you feel that the universe is conspiring to help you by bringing you people and opportunities with this like magical synergy?
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. I created the business. I met Catherine. Catherine introduced me to Georgiana. Georgiana introduced me to Carmen. Carmen,
Yes.
It unfolds. It really unfolds beautifully.
I just think that's so magical. And then someone introduces you to someone else and they share a resource or an idea and some guidance, and everything just kind of comes together and builds. For anybody who's watching, Catherine Greenspan is my sister and co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. So that's how I met Lisa, through Catherine, because Catherine lives in Oregon as well. So I'm just so honored to know you, Lisa. I know you're going to continue to go on and do great, great things. So for people who want to learn more about you, Lisa, can you share where to find you and learn more about your work?
Absolutely. So I have a website. It's CaminoCoachingConsulting.com. I'm also.
Can you say that again?
Sure. CaminoCoachingConsulting.com.
Okay,
Also,
I'll put it in the description box.
right. And also I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook. I've got a Facebook personal page and a business page.
Okay, excellent. So the name of your company is really special. Can you just briefly explain how that came to be?
Right, Camino Life Coaching and Consulting, and that comes directly from Camino. The Camino to Santiago is a pilgrimage route in northern Spain, and right, I mean, I think about the three phases of walking the Camino. I started in pain, fear, didn't want to fail, just took the next step, and somehow kept going. And then the middle part was where I discovered community, and discovered I was stronger than I thought I was. And then the third phase was actually reaching Santiago and actually going further than Santiago. So it directly echoes how I regard, how I think about Camino Life Coaching and Consulting. You meet people where they are.
Uh-huh.
You expand, you walk alongside them, you help them realize they're stronger than they thought, that they have the solutions, they have the answers,
Mhm.
and you get them at least to where they're going, and more and better.
Mhm. I love that.
Yeah, there was one more thing is the other thing that happens, like when you take the leap, when you take a jump, when you expand what you're doing, when you just have faith in yourself, and the universe is that your attitude, like what I talked about before with betting on yourself, that would have never occurred to me before. So that also was an expansion. So your mindset can change too. You won't be the same as you take a step. Everything changes. The people that are around you change. Your mindset, your attitude changes. Your recognition of your abilities, your the kind of the emergence of living into yourself, and the endorphins you can get from that. It just,
Uh-huh.
everything is constantly shifting and changing and evolving, and
Mm.
you keep getting insights and clarity and confusion, but
Mhm.
it just know that it just comes in cycles and it keeps going, and you're on a path to expansion and learning and power and service.
I love that. I love that. So, Lisa, for all the women out there watching who have a full-time job, who are dreaming about being an entrepreneur, going out on their own, contributing in powerful ways to help people, what's your advice to them?
Take the next step. Take a step. Just take a step. And the
Mhm.
others, if it's the right way, it'll open.
Mhm.
If it's the wrong way, you'll have all kinds of obstacles. But
Mhm.
don't let yourself be the obstacle.
Oh, you'll have all kinds of obstacles?
Of course.
I know that too, but every one of them is a learning experience. And I know that sounds so cliche and nobody wants to hear it, but it's really the truth.
Oh, what I mean by that is that I'll give you a perfect example. So if it's the right one, yes, of course there'll be things, but things will open up and the person you need will appear, or the resource you need will appear. What I'm thinking of is when I was at a job at one point, and I was trying desperately to get another job. And no matter how hard I tried, I could not get another job in that city. And I ended up like thinking, okay, if there's nothing for me here, where do I go? And I ended up going home. And I really believe, and I may have shared this with you before, I really believe that the universe was pushing me to go home because I needed to go home. So it's not that you're blocked because you're blocked. It's because there's something better.
Mm,
There's something that you need to, there's some other thing that's meant for you,
right.
maybe better than what you thought.
Right, right, right. I love that. And looking at it with from that big picture perspective, like one failure is a lesson in, oh, it's time to take another route. I love what you're saying. That's really powerful.
Yeah. So and to your point, nothing's really a failure. I love this. This is also from Natalie Ekobo. We're not physical beings have a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
So
So
it's all experience.
yes, powerful, Lisa, powerful. Well, I wish you the absolute greatest success. Tell us who is your ideal client so anybody watching right now can refer people to you.
Thank you so much for that. My ideal client would be a business with between 5 and 20 people. So that could be one department of it. So, and there could be multiple departments, but a business with 5 to 20 people who is ready to select the right person and use the information from DISC for that. And I can tell you more about that, just get in touch. And also once that person's there, somebody that's going to help them build the team that's going to make that person want to stay.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. And can you work with people all over, or are there any
Yes.
geographic restrictions?
No, not at all. So I've been working, as we all have, through Zoom. So Zoom works fine, Skype, all those.
So people all across the country and really the world can use your services.
Really the world. Yeah, really the world. If we can communicate, then we can work together. You know, it's a matter of resonance. So if you're in that position, if you're looking to select that person and having the best possible environment for people to not just do the job. I mean, I was reading some surveys and some research, and the reason people are staying at their jobs mostly are for pay and benefits and all kinds of things that are external to their job. And I'd like to work with you so that the reason that people show up to the job is to be there at the job, because they know how to, they treasure the relationships. And actually that's the number one reason people like coming to work, is the relationships they develop. So that's incredibly important. But it's also, how do you work together as a team? What are you able to produce together that you're proud of?
I love it. One golden nugget after another from Lisa Frank. This is awesome. Any last words, Lisa?
I want to thank you so much for bringing me on, and I am lighter. And thank you. Thank you for noticing that. But just the opportunity to be here, to talk about it. Everybody has their own point. I really, truly believe that each of you is the expert of yourself, and you actually already know the answers. And it's just, when you're ready, find your surround sound. Find your surround sound so that you don't have to go it alone. And that's the way to succeed. That's the way to keep walking.
I love it. I love it. Lisa Frank, Camino Life Coaching and Consulting. Please visit her website. I'll put the link down here below. And Lisa, I wish you the greatest success. And thank you so very much for joining me here on the Goddess Power Show.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome. And all of you watching, I hope that Lisa's story and instruction have provided you with some guidance and inspiration to take that action, to truly live your dreams. Whatever that is, you deserve to have all your heart's desires, personally and professionally. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, creator of the Goddess Power Show here, and our mission is to interview trailblazing women like Lisa, who help us all live bigger, better, and bolder. Our motto is Boss Up Goddess. So please follow the show here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Please follow me on Twitter at Elizabeth Atkins, and also leave a comment. Leave us a thumbs up if you like this interview, and I will see you next time. Remember, you have the power. So boss up, goddess.